still available. He wants to continue on the DPS channeling as well for G2 Blacklist. He has a lot of front lines to begin with anyway.
Yeah, and the reason why Nautilus is also banned by G2 Blacklist is because Sona wants to extend quite a bit, right? You want that extra damage just because of those resets, because of the songs. You want those damage to connect, and that is a good ban away from G2 Blacklist, but EDG denies the Zeri out of the hands of Golden Kite.
This time, what is Golden Kite going to be using? Xayah still going to be very useful, especially because of that Feather Storm, to be able to at least dodge some of the damage instances coming in from Edward Gaming. It has the feathers as well, scattering all over the team fight, that can be used with a Blade Caller to at least add in a bit of CC coming in from G2 Blacklist. Vladimir as a response would be interesting. A standard matchup towards Ifali.
There we go.
Switching it up, Camille with the better isolation and also just that pin down on the single target.
Yeah, we mentioned this, we touched up onto it, that Camille is open. And it was a bit of a shocker that Aatrox was locked in, but now it makes much more sense. You have a beefy lineup. You also have a Sona that could have that extra mobility for the likes of Aatrox, for Hecarim as well. Not as much as a Sivir, but this will be good enough, and Xayah will be their main damage dealer in that extra source of crowd control with the feathers. So thus far, G2 Blacklist is banking on to their defensive capability type of composition for this game up against Edward Gaming.
And our viewers as well are banking 89% of those watching, especially in the CN Conference, are rooting for Edward Gaming to win here in this game. Let's see how G2 Blacklist is going to be defying the odds and the expectations as well, as they do have an interesting composition. Lots of sustain, lots of frontline, lots of DPS as well, and crowd control, similar to how KBG actually did draft their composition a while ago. Edward Gaming this time are double downing on the executing damage, especially because of their Akali and their Lee Sin.
Yeah, here we go. The first matchup for the Philippine representatives, G2 Blacklist once again batting up against the Titan EDG. The strongest team thus far here in Wild Rift Asia. Here we go. It will be exciting, but thus far, it's all about those patience game. Every single one of these players, every single one of these champions who wants to play it a bit more late, play for a laning phase for now, reach that level 5 before they engage. And this is one of the exceptions, rather, for Lee Sin, for EDG. You can have that possibility of going in for the quick ganks, for the quick engages. But given the fact that how G2 Blacklist composed their lineup with tanky mid laner, with the Camille, you also have a little bit more sustain for top side. We're still going to wait for that level 5.
Yeah, a quick invade as well by KD into at least the Raptor camp there of 0711 is gonna cut him a bit of that XP and gold. That should allow this Hecarim to have a better early power spike in terms of level and possibly some item as well. What's interesting about the composition of G2 Blacklist as well is that almost every single champion has their own sustain. Add in the Sona sustain and shields as well. It's gonna make this composition a lot harder to burst.
Yeah, and that will require now EDG to have an Executioner's Calling, or even the likes of the shield that could negate that from the items here by EDG. You have to build that later on. Expectedly, it will be towards Renekton or even the likes of Zeri and Gragas. So we'll see how this will turn up.
Early engage. Ignite as well, gonna be used to flash. But the backstab by KD immediately blows up the plans of Edward Gaming. First blood and 2 kills for G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, amazing map awareness here by KD. We did not expect these early engages, early fights, even considering that this isn't Hecarim that we're talking about. But with how overextended EDG was into the bot side of the map, it was just an opportunity that KD has to take.
After seeing the engage, KD immediately followed up.
Yeah, it was just super clean. I mean, there was nothing to mince there. It was just KD is on to the bot side of the map, went in for that overextension for Edward Gaming, and they were able to capitalize.
Oh man, that's an incredible start coming in from G2 Blacklist. 1,000 gold lead already established. Edward Gaming this time has to bounce back. It was a bit of a bad start already, especially for 0-7, but this time, level advantage again with G2 Blacklist. They take down the Lee Sin. KD also fighting back still, is untouched onto the back line, and G2 Blacklist will secure 3 kills. KD survives with 1 HP.
The most ideal start that G2 Blacklist could ask for. They get a 5-1 2k advantage up against EDG. They get priority in the bottom lane. They get prio in mid lane and top lane as well. So this is already a very good state for this team. They just have to lock in alone, lock in onto Akali as well, and there's just no opportunity for EDG to fight up against G2 Blacklist.
This time though, Aaron is in a bad spot. 0-7-11 not landing the Sonic Wave is gonna be a bit bad, but hopeful. Xiao Jiang, they still find the kill. 0-7-11 getting the last hit as well.
Yeah, and this is where EDG has to start up. Right, 0-7-11 has to pay a visit on top side, mid lane, and even the bot side of the map, because if not, this will just be KD wrecking havoc in their own jungle, wrecking havoc in each and every single lane, and that has to be controlled by Edward Gaming.
KD is like, your camps are mine. Every single camp I go through that has still, you know, some monsters in it will be just easy to take in by my champion Hecarim. And later on team fights, this Hecarim is gonna be untouched, unstoppable as well. So much to stage, so much mobility is gonna be given towards him as well because of the Sona. This time he may be in a bad spot. That's the knock up, and that's a kill as well.
Good visit coming from Edward Gaming. We called it already. They have to pay a visit. They have to put a pressure point up against G2 Blacklist, and thus far they are proven that is something that they will do. Holding on to Ime, holding on to the top laner for G2 Blacklist is a first step to be able to even out the playing field.
EDG as well, fighting back slowly but surely, recovering a bit of the gold that they have given towards G2 Blacklist in the initial parts of this game. They're catching up. A while ago it was 5-1, but this time 5-3, not really the worst one. Still, EDG can look forward to having those bursts later on, but great setup by G2 Blacklist, already securing some vision in the bottom side river. Xiao Jiang though might be caught out here. Not really the best target is the Hecarim, especially because of the amount of gold that KD already has picked up. That's a kick.
7-11.
And the follow-up as well. They take the Sona down early into the fight. And EDG still 0-7-11. Also the shadow is going to be used. Burning the Lee Sin alive. Still survives with 1 HP. And KD is going to be taken down. There's no sustained time for the side of G2 Blacks. And everyone crumbles. EDG getting the priority now on this dragon.
The red buff was not enough. It was so close. But the Lee Sin, within inches of death, was able to go in for the retreat. And now, with only half HP, is running into the Drake.
We'll be able to take this down. No one can steal this away from 0-7-11. They were struggling a bit pre-5 minutes, but after 5 minutes, they bounced back.
Yeah, they were able to bounce back. 0-7-11 was able to really roam around the map, was able to impact each and every single lane. And right now, Rift Herald will just be that option for G2 Blacklist. At the very least, have that handshake in first objectives. But we're now seeing the strength and the prowess that the Lee Sin has in this matchup. It was just so much burst damage change with the Dragon's Rage.
And a follow-up as well coming in from the rest of Edward Gaming with their top-tier damage. Definitely was felt by G2 Blacklist. Just one slight overextension by Draw, and it can easily be bursted away by the members of Edward Gaming.
Yeah, those will now boil back into playing a bit more slowly for each and every single lane here for both sides. With exception for G2 Blacklist that can capitalize onto Shelly to place into the mid lane or even bottom lane as well if ever they want to prioritize the Ocean Drake later on. That could be something that G2B can do in the foreseeable future.
Let's see what are going to be the steps as well that G2 Blacklist are going to take. Slowly but surely, they're going to be looking to recover. But the steps are going to be a bit higher this time. Every single step along the way, especially because of damage power spikes this time of Edward Gaming. Langi as well can separate the members of G2 Blacklist just like a while ago. They did to take down the Sona early into the fight and also win the big team fight in that Dragon Pit. At least they take a turret in the bottom lane with Shelly helping them out.
The only options there was mid lane or bot lane. Right now, Langby.
Immediately, ult's gonna be used. Draw this time though, still not surviving. As Aaron looking to backstab at least Xiao Jiang here, but is being able to stall for so long. Lang as well gonna be joining the fight as Alone follow up with the damage. 7-11 goes in. A little bit cheeky there as you follow up. Shuriken did connect onto Katie and should be able to take him down with a perfect execution. Langby still slowing him down. Alone still free hitting from the backside. 0-7-11 should be able to enter through the Sonic Wave and take the Xayah down. Ime tried to survive alongside with the Camille, but both of them will get taken out. Actually, Ime survives, which is good. But still a lot of kills coming in from Edward Gaming. The sustain this time, the saving grace of Draw is gonna buy enough time for Ime to walk away.
7-11 is on another level from what he did. From that early game, was able to come back. How Edward Gaming is on a deficit, they were able to play on an even level playing field. And look at their 7-11, just eyes on the jungler for EDG, just bouncing back and forth here into this matchup. And yes, G2 Blacklist was able to take a kill for themselves, but EDG answered back the counter. The eyes on Katie, the eyes on these carries for G2 Blacklist, and within a blink of an eye, they're pretty much gone. EDG played that perfectly.
Perfectly catching the Sona and removing the sustain for G2 Blacklist, but they take the support this time. It's like you get caught.
That's a good trade at the very least here for the side of G2 Blacklist, getting that kill. But nevertheless, it's not as effective. Like, it doesn't impact as much for Edward Gaming. The thing is, Edward Gaming just has to keep up the pace here, accelerate the carry potential of Akali, carry potential of Zeri later on, because when they reach that point, the damage aspect of EDG will rise up. It will be too much, especially given the fact that Lee Sin's Dragon's Rage also has that percentage HP damage already. You have Akali as burst, you have Zeri as that constant DPS of Edward Gaming's composition.
4-1-5 is the score of 0-7-11. A while ago, he was a little bit on the down trend, but after that one death, he was able to recover massively into this game. Yomus plus Triforce, already a lot of burst damage to take down almost anyone on the side of G2 Blacklist. He is on his way towards mid lane. Let's see what's going to be the plan here of G2 Blacklist. Regardless of any plans, it's going to be this made here by EDG.
Yeah. Just too mobile to gain access onto Alone, but G2 Blacklist could now focus on to the Ocean Drake, now being started by EDG.
No vision on EDG side, actually coming from the red side jungle.
Backside.
Blacklist mid lane is going to be prioritized here. Next thing they made them into the Dancing Lally as they take the Zeri down. Actually, a great pick coming in from G2 Blacklist might signal them having the better end here for this dragon. Denying the opportunity here for the soul point of EDG. Featherstorm going to be there to isolate at least some of the members here. Bedward Gaming, 0-7-11 can still go in. Sonic Wave did connect onto the dragon. Will he go in? There's no, they give the dragon away.
The micro plays by G2 Blacklist is impressive to watch. Katie
goes in onto the Lee Sin, forcing the flash. Xiao Jiang as well. Back away with a slice and dice, but will be pinned down to the ground. G2 Blacklist cancels the intention there of EDG.
It's just so good. G2 Blacklist once again showing why they are deserving of the final spot. Their micro plays are impeccable. From what KD did to what these players are doing right now. It's too good. Golden Kite onto the deny of the explosive cast as well with the Featherstorm. Oh, I want to watch that once again, because the thing is, right, EDG is just running away from that engage. KD started that up with the onset of Shadows, isolated X-Jack, and that was just a clean startup.
Yeah, it's the perfect punish towards the overstaying of EDG. They can never discount G2 Blacklist, but they also have the burst damage in them. They also have the suppression and just, you know, Sona things, passive. One auto attack will secure at least just one single target stun that can allow the rest of G2 Blacklist to follow up with the damage.
Yeah, it's too good. But so far, if there's any team that can put this back into the map, it's EDG. So far, coming into the early game, G2 Blacklist was able to net themselves 2.5k gold lead. EDG was able to return that immediately in mid game. And thus far, just look at the gold. There's just pretty much nothing. No advantage for any sides.
And just zero at all. But this time, Edward Gaming is looking for an advantage in the bottom lane, forcing at least the World Ender. An exchange of the Dominus. After spotting KD out, looks like they're just gonna be letting him be.
Just letting him be, just letting him slide. And Edward Gaming just has the map control advantage up against G2 Blacklist, and that will give them a much better chance to be able to punish and bait out G2 Blacklist onto the Baron or even Infernal Drake later on, just because they have the tier 1 turret in mid lane and even the bottom lane as well. And thus far here in the mid game, it's pretty much the map control, the macro plays that will play a crucial role into success for any team.
G2 Blacklist scaling up though. Late game is going to be the name of the game for the composition here of G2 Blacklist, because the Sona will get tankier and tankier as well, already picking up 2 items that can help her durability along the way. And EDG, if they struggle to burst out raw, that's going to be so problematic for them.
Very problematic for them. But right now, just look how Edward Gaming is denying any vision from G2 Blacklist, and I believe that will be something that G2 Blacklist really has to conquer, because Edward Gaming, they consistently remove these visions, and if that continues, one mishap, one mistake, one misstep for G2 Blacklist, and it's over.
It's over. Infernal Dragon is going to be available as well in a short while, and that can signal a team fight as well. EDG, even if they struggle in the extended team fight, just one burst, again, in which they are very capable of doing, can turn the tides around. They have been waiting patiently for an opportunity. They have been trying as well a while ago in the mid lane. They have been even in the bottom lane as well. So far they are not successful, but one successful play might just be this Baron going down so fast.
I'm telling you, this will be a misstep because there's no vision for G2B.
Easily taken by Edward Gaming in a blink of an eye. 5 seconds. They're able to shred down and melt the Baron so fast. Cat's gonna be slow onto KD, isolating some of the members onto the shadows, and the Hextech ultimatum onto you. Dancing Banana as well. So many utilities used onto just one champion, but you still able to stall up for so long. And now Alone still flitting from the backside. Xiao Jia might actually be in a bad spot this time around, but still able to deal the damage. And everyone of G2 Blacklist is crumbling to the ground. That's gonna be the ace in exchange for you.
What a play, and we've called this just moments ago before EDG has taken the Baron. There's no vision for G2 Blacklist, and just one mistake. There's no vision, there's no info, and EDG can now finish the game.
They land the biggest punch onto G2 Blacklist jaw, and G2B falls to the ground this time on their first match against Edward Gaming.
What a play, what a series of events. It's literally the story that we were telling, like, there's no vision on the objectives. This is what EDG consistently does. If this continues to happen, EDG takes the Baron, and it's pretty much just an over of a game. Because the thing is, you already have that tier 1 turret for EDG onto the mid lane, so that's one of the disadvantages. No vision. There's pretty much a